Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi Ellen, yes I had a nice Christmas, thank you, did you? Hi Rachel, yes I'm well, thank you. Hi Alison, yes I did have a good Christmas, did you? Rachel, we did, thank you, we had a nice Christmas day. Hi Carol, Ellen's saying yes, so I'm assuming that means you can hear me. Excuse me. What else is going on here? I think I've said hello to everybody so far. Rachel saying loud and clear, great. Alison saying yes, can hear me, fab. I don't know about you lot, but I completely lost all track of days. I forgot it was Sunday. It was this morning I woke up and I didn't know what day it was or anything. Ellen saying yes, thank you. Magsy saying hi Ashley and everyone, hope you all had a good Christmas and are staying safe. Yeah, I'm trying. Don't know about everybody else, hope you all are in all this madness. Right, let's get rid of that. So hopefully you can all see my desk and you can see this big pink box. It looks a little bit red on my screen, it's actually pink. This is the ScanNCut Rhinestone kit and we have used this before. If anybody is unsure and they want to go back and have a look, earlier on in the year, it was in the first lockdown, so I'd say sometime after March, I did a live covering this rhinestone kit. So if you go to on the channel here, if you go to the live playlist and just look back through the live playlist, you'll see the original Sunday live that I did on the rhinestone kit. But somebody asked for it last week and somebody else said yes, they thought that was a good idea, and I can't remember who it was that asked for it, so I thought we'd cover it again today because it's what people wanted, and that's what these are all about. I can try and come up with ideas every week for you and show you, different things, but obviously I want to try and show things or cover things or answer questions if I can on things that you all want to know about. So that's why I love it when you come up with your ideas and your suggestions. Marcia, hi. Good morning all, expecting snow here today. Yuck. Well, we had a little bit of snow on Christmas Day. Hannah and I went on the golf course and she did about 7 or 8 holes, I can't remember, on Christmas Day while the turkey was in the oven cooking. And I walked round with her, and just, I think for about the last 2 holes, the snow started to fall. It was lovely. It wasn't too heavy and obviously it wasn't sticking, but it was snow, proper snow, which was really nice. Expecting snow here today, yuck. Alison saying it's been a year of that. It has been a year of yuck, Alison, hasn't it? Rachel saying same, not knowing what day it is. Oh, it's awful, isn't it? Someone's saying hello from Greece, which is lovely, and I'm really sorry, but I don't know how to say that name. Areti? I'm really sorry. Troll Patrol on duty, fab. Thumbs up from me for that. Thank you, Alison. Love that. Hi, Ashley. Hope you had a nice Christmas day. I did, Mandy. Yes, thank you. Right, so let me just explain about this rhinestone kit, because there's technically only one rhinestone kit. However, there is a trial rhinestone kit that I got when I purchased my SDX 2200 Disney machine, and as far as I'm aware, all the Disney machines get the sample kit of the rhinestones, and it's literally only a small version of the kit, and you can only use it with the rhinestone designs that are built into the machine. So you can't go into Canvas and use any of the designs there, because to use those you've got to have the full kit with the activation card. Hi Barbara. Yes, I had a lovely Christmas, thank you. Did you? So this is the basic rhinestone kit that comes in this big pink box. Now, I've had mine years. I honestly can't remember. There's no date or anything on it. I honestly can't remember when I did buy it, but I do know I bought it from Create and Craft, and I've had it a long time. Makerssuperstore.com sell it. I'm sure it's available on Amazon, and no doubt, you know, Create and Craft will still have it. So there'll be various places where you can get this kit if you want to get it. Hi Alice. Alice is saying, I don't have the rhinestone kit, but I love watching you. Oh, thank you. Hi Sally. Sally's saying hello. John Webb 269 is saying hello from Oxfordshire. Well, hi to you. Hi Vicky, good morning, hope you're okay. The TV app is stuck, so I'm here on the small screen. Oh, you do make me laugh, you lot, when you're watching on big screens and big TVs and all that kind of thing. I find it hysterical. Okay, so this is the basic big rhinestone kit that you buy, and it comes in the box like this. So just in my box, there's going to be a mixture of, you know, what was in this kit originally. I hope you can see it all. Let me see if I can. Don't think I can zoom out anymore, but hopefully you can see, and I'll try and explain, if I can remember, what came in my original kit and what's add-ons. So this is add-ons, this is transfer tape. I don't actually know why that's in there. Maybe I bought that thinking I was running low on transfer tape, I'm not sure, but anyway, here's some rhinestones which I'll go over in a minute. I've got 3 of the rhinestone brushes. Now the reason I've got 3 is because this big red one I got with a Puzzles rhinestone kit. In fact, thinking about it, that might be what this is. That might be the transfer tape that was with my rhinestones when I had my Puzzles machine. So one of these comes with this regular kit, and the other one came with my sample kit that I got with my machine. So that's why I've got an abundance of these little furry, what look like paint brushes. This is the black vinyl flock that comes with all your rhinestone kits. Now, the square 6x6 piece, which isn't going to be easy to see, let me try and put it against the white background. This is part of the sample kit that I got with the machine. And then any of the other pieces that are bigger that I've been cutting into. This, as you can see here, this was 12x12, so this came with the original kit. Now, I honestly can't remember how many of these 12x12 sheets you get with the original kit. It might be 2 or 3, I'm really not sure. As I say, I've had this kit an awful long time. But basically, you get the black flock, which is the cutting media. You get a brush. You get one of these little pickup tools, and obviously I've got 2 again because one of these came with the starter kit that, you know, came with the machine. This is my big 12x12 board, and then you get all these instructions. These are just some templates that I've saved that I've cut previously. These are a couple of rhinestone designs that I've cut previously that I've not done anything with. And then all this that looks like green in the box, this is actual transfer tape. So anything that's square, that's about 6x6, came with my starter kit, and any of the big sizes are what came with this big kit. So as I say, this is a bit of a mixture, but basically you'll get the transfer tape, you'll get the whiteboard, you'll get your instructions, You'll get your black flock, you'll get a pickup tool, a brush, and you'll get some rhinestones. Now I can't remember what rhinestones came with what, but I've got various sizes. And for anybody that doesn't know, these are hot fixed rhinestones, which basically means they need heat to activate them. And you buy them in all different sizes. I can't remember what size they start at, but I know there's an SS6. This is SS10, so are these. These are SS20s, so these are bigger. These I've obviously, these with the labels inside them, I must have bought these at some point a long time ago. So these are SS16s and these are SS20s, and they say hot fixed rhinestones on them. And these are from, oh, there's a label in this one, rhinestonsonline.co.uk. I think I bought these when I had the original puzzles kit and had run out, and that's, I think, why I've got extras. So I've kind of got an abundance of different rhinestones in a couple of different sizes. And basically, when you make your rhinestone design in Canvas Workspace, you choose the size of the stone that you're going to use for the design that you're making. So I've sent a design over from my computer earlier on, which just before going live I saved into the machine, and I think I designated that as an SS10 stone. So when I come to show you that, that'll be the stones I'm using. So for now I'm just going to put all this lot back in the box. And the first thing I thought I'd do would be use a simple rhinestone design that's already in my Disney machine, and then we'll cut that, and once I've done that I'll cut the design I sent over earlier from Canvas. So let me just catch up with what you're all saying before we go any further. So Mandy G saying, oh, don't forget the thumbs up for Ashley under the live stream. Oh, thank you for that. Already done. Mandy's saying that's Alison. River City Creative is she clapping or he clapping? Tammy Miles is saying, how much is the complete kit and where can I purchase the kit? Does it come with the download info, and does this go with the ScanNCut SDX 125? Okay, Tammy, so first let's say the rhinestone kit can be used on any model ScanNCut machine, so any CM model or any DX or SDX model. So that's the first thing. I bought my kit, as I've just said, from Create and Craft. I've had it years. So depending on where you are, Tammy, have a look at Create and Craft. Makerssuperstore.com, which is obviously online. They sell it and you can generally buy it on Amazon. If you buy the full kit, so the kit that comes in the big pink box, you get an activation card with it, and you activate that in Canvas, and that then provides you with, about a free 100 designs. From memory, I think there's about 60 something letters and like upper and lowercase alphabet and numbers, and then there are some free designs. I'll show you one of the free designs in a bit. Don't know if one of these, no, I've used it this afternoon. And then you can make your own designs like I've done. So I've gone into Canvas today. I've used the Canvas for computer. I've chosen a font and I've created a rhinestone design from it. But you can only do that once you've bought the activation kit, because that opens up, if you like, the rhinestone feature. So I hope that helps. Vicky's saying, when you save your design file, could you put SS10 as part of the design name? Yes, Vicky. What I do that sometimes. What I also used to do, I used to just choose the text icon when I was within Canvas, and I'd type SS10 or SS16 or SS20 and just leave it as text in the file as well. You can do it either way. So you could put, rhinestone flower SS10, whatever you want. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Tammy's saying thank you for the information. Okay, so one last thing I forgot to do. I need to get a cutting mat and I'm going to use my Easy Press, so I'm going to plug that in. So just give me 1 minute. I'm going to flip you to the ScanNCut screen while I grab a cutting mat. I knew I'd forget something. And I'm just going to plug my Easy Press in. I'm going to flip you back for a minute. So there's my mat. I'll just put that on one side. Now, anybody that was with me on Christmas Eve will know that I treated myself to the Easy Press, and what they call the out of the box project was this heat transfer vinyl in the green glitter, and this calico bag is what the machine comes in. So I decorated the calico bag in the live on Christmas Eve using the Easy Press, and I've worked out how to change the temperature back to Fahrenheit because I'd got it set on centigrade. And then earlier on today, while I was looking through the Rhinestone kit, let me just see if I can zoom you in for a minute, because I was trying to look and see if I'd got cutting media and everything. There's no point in me doing a live if I've not got the stuff to cut it with. This rhinestone flower here was a design in that box I'd already cut. I think I cut that in the live back earlier on in the year. So to try the Easy Press out with the rhinestones, I just stuck it on the front of this calico bag. Okay, so that's that. When you said, yeah, got that one, thank you for the info. Parrots is saying, I've not used my kit. There are 2 sheets of black sticky flock. Okay, so in the original kit then it's 2 12 by 12 sheets of the black flock, and I'm guessing 2 sheets of the what looks like green, but it's the clear transfer tape, yeah? And Vicky, yeah, I've added to test the what's it called? I've forgotten already. Oh my lord, Easy Press, just to test the Easy Press out. Patty H is saying hello. Nice addition, very sparkly. It is really sparkly. So I'm going to just put that on one side. I'm just going to plug the Easy Press in and put it on the floor out of the way for now, just for a few minutes. So let's get back to the mat. So what the first thing I'm going to do, let's flick you over. I need to get my design. So the first one, I'm just going to use a design that, as I say, is in my SDX 2200. It's just a simple rhinestone design. That's the first one I'm going to do, and then hopefully I'm going to do the one that I sent over earlier that I made in Canvas. So let's go to Pattern, into Disney, and there's 2 rhinestone sections here. This one has just got the crown, and then this one has got 3 designs. So that's why they give you the small rhinestone starter kit with this machine, because there's the 4 inbuilt designs already in here. Now, if you've got any of the Disney activation cards, a couple of the Princess Papercraft activation cards, if you scroll through and have a look at them, they've got rhinestone designs in them as well. So anybody that's got any of the Disney Princess activation cards, if you go into Canvas online and go to the Disney tab, click on the card that you've got, and then underneath it it'll say something like show all, and it will show you all the designs that are on that activation card. And there are some rhinestone designs in 2 or 3 of the activation cards. Barbara's saying, with all you teachers, we should start making presents for next year. You should do, yeah. I mean, heat transfer vinyl, you can put on most fabrics. You know, so you could start making t-shirts, you could start making maybe shopping totes and put, you know, what do you call it, like punny sayings on them. Towels, what else? I've seen people buy those oven pads, you know, cheap in Poundland and, you know, supermarkets, and then decorate them up with heat transfer vinyl. And then again, anything blingy, you know, t-shirts, put rhinestone designs on t-shirts. There's all sorts you can do. Right, I'm going to do the mini, and it says it's 2.97 by 3.02 inches wide. So I'm going to say okay, and set, and put that on the mat. So I now need a piece of the black flock big enough to cut that design. So let me just bring my box back in. Vicky, yes, you can make your own designs. That's what I've done this afternoon. The next design I've done, it just literally, it says Apple Lover 53, but I did it. I've chose a font. In fact, I think I used Grandma's Garden. So if you were with me, I think you were with me on Christmas Eve. We were talking about fonts, and I used Grandma's Garden, which I downloaded from Da Font, and I typed the word Apple Lover 53, and I've turned it into a rhinestone design, and I'm going to cut that in a bit, hopefully. So let's just get a bit of the flock and hope that this is big enough. I'm not sure if I've cut into that already. Don't know how big this is. Let me just see how big this piece is. Right. I know you can't see at the minute. I'm just trying to cut a piece of flock. I'll just flip you back for a minute. Part of this piece of flock looks as though I've took a chunk out of it, but I think the part I've just cut off looks okay. So we'll try this in the hope that it's big enough. So I'm just going to bring my mat back in, and I'm going to, this has got the yellow backing on it, so that's how it comes. So I'm just going to burnish this down and hope that this mat is sticky enough. Let's flip you back to the machine, load it into the machine. Parrots is saying yes, correct on the green sheet, so it's 2 of each. Okay, that's fine. As I say, mine's kind of all mixed up now in the box with the sampler kit and everything, so I don't like to tell you the wrong information. I like to try and give you, you know, as much right information as I can, but bearing in mind that I bought my kit quite a few years ago, you know, you forget, don't you? Right, I'm just going to do a background scan and say start, and scan the rhinestone media. Can you all still hear me okay, by the way? So I'm just going to go into the wrench and make the background of what I've scanned lighter so I can see it easier. And I'm just going to put this little Minnie Mouse head onto there. I'm going to say OK, select cut, and I'm going to go into the settings, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to make sure half cut is on. And the reason that it's on at the moment is because the last thing I cut on here was the heat transfer vinyl on Christmas Eve, and I've obviously never turned it off, so I only want to cut through the black top section, so I want the half cut on, so I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to say start. Now, one thing I do remember, I'm sure, when I did this earlier on in the year, I think it worked out better if I cut it twice. So I'm going to cut it twice on half cut. I think from memory the black flock peeled away, leaving all the little bits behind. Vicky's saying that flock is like a black hole on camera in contrast to everything else that reflects the overhead light ring. Should I turn the overhead light ring off? Right, I've turned that off. See if that's any different for you, Vicky. Mandy's saying, yes, you can still hear me. Sound is fine. Thanks for checking. Yes, loud and clear. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, sound fine. Finally got to sign in. I'll catch up later. Caroline is saying, yes, I can hear you clearly. Right, brilliant. Okay, so are we back on the screen, aren't we? Okay, so I've got half cut on. I'm going to say start. I've just got my normal blade in, so my normal auto blade. And I'm just going to try and move you ever so slightly so you can hopefully see what's going on. And I'm just keeping my eye on this flock because the backing is a bit kind of waxy, and I just want to make sure it's going to stay on this mat. Sometimes when the blade starts moving, that's when it moves your media. So hopefully everything's looking okay. I've got that many phones and screens around me. Everything appears to be, we're still recording. I know we've got a bit of a glare on that ScanNCut screen, so I'll try and move that out of the way a bit. So it's just a case of waiting for this to cut now. It says less than a minute. It shouldn't take too long because it's just a simple outline. I'm just going to have a quick drink of my juice. Okay, so it says it's finished, but I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to go select and cut again and start. Because like I said, I vaguely remember that last time we did this, the first one, when I pulled it off, left a lot of the holes still in the black flock, and somebody said try cutting it twice, and that seemed to work. So rather than me mess up and waste all your time, I'll do it twice, but you never know, it might cut through all the way this time, who knows, but hopefully we should be okay. So have you all had a good Christmas? Dawn is saying, so sorry I'm late, wasn't sure there would be one today. Oh, don't worry Dawn, it's fine, you can always go back and watch it later. Yeah, I think people wanted me to do this Sunday, so that's why I said I would. Alison's saying, I can't believe how quiet that machine is. I know, it is a lot quiet. You don't realise when you're using the other machines. I know when I first got my Craft Robo, that was a right noisy little thing. But you kind of get used to them, you know, you kind of get used to them making that noise. Then I changed to a Puzzles, and that was noisy, but so you know, you just kind of get in tune to hearing that noise. But then when I got this one, let me flip you back now to the desk because that's finished. I'm just going to unload, and then, like I say, when I got this one and you start using it, and you then realise how quiet these are. Mandy G is saying, with a CM900, would I do normal cut, as I don't think we have half cut yet? So Mandy, on the CM models, you'll do a normal cut, but what I would suggest is use the test cut facility. So within your machine, you've got an icon that says test. Click that, choose one of the shapes. I would choose the circle because you cut in circular shapes with the rhinestones. Put the little test circle, say, somewhere down here where it's easily accessible, and then send it to cut, and then lift up the corner, see if it's cut all the way through. If it hasn't, then just see if it's cut, the top layer, and if it has, you should be good to go. Right, what have I done with this spatula? I'm going to peel this off so it's not cut through the backing. Okay, so that's with 2 cuts, so that's a good sign. So what we need to do now is peel the flock away and hopefully leave all the little circles behind. So I just need to get my little pokey tool or something to help me peel this away. Vicky, I'm using the regular auto blade. I'll move this out of the way. Can you see? The regular black top auto blade. Charlotte's saying it certainly doesn't hurt to do it twice, good insurance. Alison is saying it was okay, neither of us had a good Christmas. It was okay, neither of us had a good Christmas. Oh no, Alison, why? And then Alice is saying, when I scan the media, I get a blue line on the screen. Alice, if you normally get a blue outline, it means you've got the design set as a draw rather than a cut. So if it's something you've sent over from Canvas, just go and open it back up and go into the properties and make sure you've got it assigned as a cut, because a blue line on your screen normally indicates a draw line. Right, let's just try and peel. Okay, right, I've peeled a corner. I can see that the little black dots are there. Let me just see if I can zoom you in a bit more. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to hold on to this bit and I'm going to pull the black bit away in one go, like you pull a band-aid off. There you go. It's got everything apart from one, so I only need to poke out one. Can you see there at the bottom? Just one. So doing it twice is the best option. I'm just going to stick that stray one back on there for now. So I'm going to get my lid and my whiteboard. I'm going to get my rhinestones. I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to zoom you back out because you're going to get glare off the white from the box. So I've got, I know this is not going to be easy to see, I've got the white board inside the lid, and I'm only doing this to contain the rhinestones. Oh, because you weren't together. Sorry, yeah, I forgot. You were on your own, weren't you? Do you know, my memory's shocking. I'm really sorry. If I do keep asking people questions and you've already told me the answer, just forgive me because I literally have got a shocking memory. Right, I'm going to put, this flock is now sticky on the back, okay, for anybody that doesn't know. So I'm just going to burnish that down, and you can see that all the holes are out of it. And one thing I forgot to check is what size these stones are. So I'm just going to hit the home button and see if it tells me doesn't actually tell me which stone size it is, and I can't remember what came with it, so I think they're SS10s. So let's see what we've got in SS10. I've got some pink, and I've got regular clear. What else have we got? And I've got a kind of yellowy orange. Dawn's saying we are always on our own at Christmas. Oh, bless you, Dawn. What else have I got? Have I got some more yellowy ones? Might use those yellowy ones actually. That's if there's enough. So basically what you do now, you dump your rhinestones on top of your flock and you bring in your brush. And basically what you do, in a circular motion, you just work the designs into the holes, and they should fall in the right way up. And when you think you've got them all, or the majority of them, and they will kind of cling in the brush, when you think you've got the majority of them, wipe them gently to one side so they're out of the way, because you're going to have to pick this design up with some transfer tape. Now, where's that little pick-up tool? So, let's zoom you in again. So I can see that most of the designs have fallen within the shape now, and they're all the right way up, but there's one there that I've missed, so I'm just going to use this little pick-up thing and pop it into that gap. So hopefully now, without getting my head in, all the holes within the design have got a rhinestone in them. So I'm just going to brush the rhinestones out of the way, and I'm going to pick up some transfer tape. You just have to give me a minute because I've got everything at the side of me. And I just want to see if I've got a piece that's big enough to pick that design up. That might not be big enough, so let's find another one. Got all different sizes of pieces here. Right, I'm going to use this one. This one is going to be too big, but I'll cut it down. So this bit's a bit like when you're doing, vinyl. You now need to get the design off its backing sheet and put it onto, whatever it is you're going to apply it on. So I'm just going to cut a piece of transfer tape, and these are all reusable. So, once you've used them, you should be able to reuse them a couple of times. So I'm going to peel this away. Now, I don't want to sort of go straight over the top of it, because just in case there's any static and it lifts any of the rhinestones up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend the transfer tape kind of over the middle, and I'm going to put the middle down first and then roll out the outsides. And then I'm just going to get my brush and just burnish over them in the hope that obviously the sticky transfer tape is going to pick them up. So if I now lift this up, I've got them all. So if I peel, let's peel this away from here and put that down, you should be able to now see that the rhinestones are stuck to the back of that transfer tape, and then I'm going to iron them onto a project at the end. So for now, I'm just going to pick this up and put this back on to that green backing paper. And if, you know, if anybody makes these and sells them, you know, not necessarily the Disney ones, but if you make, you know, rhinestone designs and you're going to start selling them, if you're actually selling the actual rhinestone design, then this is how you can, you know, package them. You just put them back onto the backing paper that the transfer tape came off, and then obviously you can package them up and sell them, but not the Disney designs because you can't do that. But you know, if you make your own design into a rhinestone embellishment, then you can just pop them back onto their transfer sheet. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on one side for a minute. Now I'm going to just, let me put this on one side. I'm just going to bring this back in, and I'm going to scrape these little bits off here and dump them in the bin. Because I'm going to use that piece again to keep the design. I've got all the little bits all stuck to my fingers. So let me scoop these into my bin. I know I won't get them all, I'll end up with bits stuck to me probably, but I'll just try and get the majority of them out of the way for now. So this now is what, look, I've got one there stuck to my finger. This can go back on here now. And then obviously you've got that template then to use again over and over and over again. And obviously if you wanted to, you could chop this piece off here because you've obviously got some flock that you could use, you know, for a smaller sentiment or shape or something like that. So that's how you store them. Just put them back on your release paper, and then, you know, you've got that to use, as I say, another time. So what I want to do now, this is getting a bit messy. Let me just find, I want to get these and just dump them in this little tray and put these back in the bag, because I'm going to use a different colour for the next one. So I just need to find my little bag and tidy up as I go. Let me zoom you back out again so you're not too near. So I'm just going to dump these. This was a Puzzles tray, and I think this came with my Puzzles rhinestone kit years ago, but I tend to use it now for embossing powder. Just got a couple of stray ones there. Pick them up. So let's find my, so here's my little plastic sheet with all my previous templates in, and then I'm just going to keep that in there, have a quick catch up with what he's saying, and then we'll do the next one. So Amanda G's saying that's a clever technique. Teresa's saying that's clever, no waste. Just call the stuck ones beauty marks. And someone else, River City Creative, is saying neat. So go back to the machine. So I'm going to hit the home button. Say yes, it's okay to delete all patterns. Move you around a bit so there's not as much glare. Evelyn is saying hello. Hello to Evelyn. Teresa's saying just me and the dog. I think oh, that was because somebody said Alison was saying she was on her own earlier, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, right. So retrieve data from the machine, because that's where I saved the design earlier. I'm going to go to the last page and I'm going to go to the last design I sent over. And this says Apple Lover 53, and this is a rhinestone pattern I made in Canvas earlier. So I'm going to say okay. It's there on my mat. I need to, I can't remember how big it was, so let me just go in and see. So it's just over 7.5 inches wide by just over 2 inches high. So I need a piece of the black flock that's big enough for that design. So let's see what we've got. They're not big enough, so I'll pop them back in there. How wide's that? Oh, that might just do. Perfect. Right, let's try that. As you can see, you know, I'm getting to the dregs of my flock now. And I did see something on YouTube, and I honestly can't remember who did it, and I don't know how I came across it, but the lady was doing a test of different medias for cutting rhinestone designs, and she tried all sorts of different flock. So I know you can buy this black flock, obviously, you know, from Brother, but you could use other media, you know, if you can find something that's cheaper. I know when I had my puzzles machine a long time ago, I actually used their rubber stamp media to make rhinestone designs, which I think I have still got somewhere, but it's a lot thicker than the flock. So if you can get, you know, some cheap flock from somewhere, you could make your own design, as long as it's got a backing on it, because obviously you only cut through the top section, so you've got to have something that's got a backing on it. Right, let me just see what Alison D is saying. Hello, hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. You're on the 50-inch TV, Ashley. Hubby cooking dinner tonight. Sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Alison, it's fine. I hate being on your 50-inch TV. Would felt work. Possibly foam might work better if you got a thin fun foam. Not so sure about felt. Might do. If I can find some handy, we could have a try, but right, let's just get this one going. So I'm going to flip you back, pop this in. I'm going to do a background scan again. So I'm going to say, okay, background scan and start. Then I'm going to cut this, put it onto the transfer sheet, and then this and the Minnie Mouse I'm going to iron onto the back of this Cricut Easy Press bag, because it's just a surface basically, isn't it, for me to iron on. So I'm just positioning my text now centrally over that black section. I know there's a bit of a glare going on there. Okay, that's better, I think, isn't it? So I'm going to say okay, select, cut. I'm still on half cut, and I'm going to say start, and then again I'm going to cut this twice. So Mandy G is saying, Alison D, I can get YouTube on my TV but can't work out how to chat, comment. Is it easy? Okay, well, if Alison knows, Mandy, I'm sure she'll give you the information here. This is what I love about this, because you all interact with each other as well, don't you? As well as watching me doing whatever I'm doing. But you all help each other out as well, so that's great. So while this is cutting, I'm going to find a piece of transfer tape that's big enough. I might have to cut a piece. That one might do, so I'll just do this with scissors. So just while that's cutting, I'm only getting a piece of transfer tape and just cutting that in readiness. So all this is going to go back in the box. And then this design, I'll flip you back so you can still see, hopefully, you can see it cutting. And this design, as I say, I made earlier, and I'm sure I set the designs for SS10s, so that's the stone size I'm going to use. I'm just going to get them out in readiness. Just trying to make a bit of space on my desk as well while that's cutting. So right, let me see if I'm missing comments. So Mandy G is saying, Ashley, what size heat mat did you get for the Easy Press? I got the 12 by 12. Don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, this is the 12 by 12. Although the heat press I bought the 6 by 7. Because to be fair, I don't think I'd use the bit. I don't think I'm going to use it masses. So I just went for the 6 by 7, but I got the 12 by 12 cricket mat. Alison D saying, I use my fire stick. Vicky's saying, Mandy, when I put on the TV, I have to open it on my tablet or phone at the same time to use the chat. Okay, right, I'm just going to send this to cut again. So it's finished once. I'm going to say, OK, select, cut, and just start it again. OK, just to give it the second cut, because it seems to work out better on half cut, but doing it twice. Let's see what else everyone's saying. Alice is saying, Ashley, that's where a long blue line comes on my screen when I'm doing background scan. Alice, I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean you're getting a blue line on your screen in addition to what you're scanning? Or the thing you're scanning comes up as blue? Because it shouldn't, because anything that you scan should show up as black. The only time you should see an outline of a design in blue is if you've got it set to draw. So if it's a blue line in addition, then maybe there's something stuck on your scanning screen. I'm not sure, unless you can take a photograph of it and send it me, and I'll see if I can, help that way. So if it's a blue line in addition to whatever you've got on your screen, then I'm guessing maybe there's something stuck in your machine somewhere that the scan's picking up. I'm not really sure. Patty Patty H is saying, Vicky, that is what I do. Okay, so you put the YouTube on the telly, but you make the comments with the iPad or iPhone. Is that what you're saying? I'm guessing. Mandy G is saying, oh, okay, that's what I thought. Thanks, ladies. So Alison D is saying, from my mobile to TV, Mandy. Hope that helps. Hi, Mikkel. Alison D is saying Chromecast. Ellen is saying, Ashley, do all rhinestones need to be heat activated? No, you can get rhinestones that have got glue on the back, you know, like the ones I use at Stampin' Up, which are more for like paper crafting. But the hot fix rhinestones are meant to be washable, so obviously you need heat to set them. Some people have a kind of a little tool that literally just sets one stone at a time, and you pick it up and you put it down, and it's heat activated by the, I don't know what it's called, it's kind of like a heat wand, if you like, and it is hot at the end, and when you pick the rhinestone up and place it, the heat activates the glue. What you do there, what you do individually, which is, you know, painstaking, doing one rhinestone at a time. So to do anything like this with, you know, big designs, you need something with a good amount of heat. I have tried it in the past with an iron, and it does work, but I don't know how long it lasts. With something like the Cricut Easy Press, they're supposed to last a lot longer. Or if you've got one of those big heat presses, you know, that like sits on a bench and you put things under and you pull it down, they do heat transfer vinyls and they can do rhinestones as well, I believe. So you need a lot of pressure and a lot of heat, basically. Right, that's finished. So I'm going to unload and bring this back. Let's peel this off here and hope it's not cut all the way through. It hasn't, so that's good. I'm just going to move this mat out of the way to give me a bit more room. And I'm going to move the ScanNCut out of the way. Because I've finished with that for now. So let's do the same thing. I need my little let's just peel away a corner. Right, let's see what we're saying. Hi Karen, hope you're okay. So Karen's saying, hello Ashley and everyone, a bit late, sorry, don't worry, it's still recording, we're fine. Mandy G is saying, could you use the heat press on other surfaces other than fabric? Yes, you can use a heat press on wood, you can use it on glass, depending on, you know, what size heat press you have. I watch Escape to the Chateau and she uses a huge old-fashioned looking heat press machine to put designs on kitchen tiles. Yeah, you can use the Cricut Easy Press on anything that it will work on, basically. So cups, glass, you know, like glass cutting mats, fabric, wood. Ellen is saying, I got a long dark line on my machine when I scan. I thought I had something stuck on the scanning window. I have cleaned all the machine, so it must be inside and don't know how to get it fixed. Well, I'm guessing then that it like you, Ellen, it's picking something up. So the only thing I could suggest would be unplug it completely, make sure you pull the lead out of it, and pull, you know, the front cover down and get a torch and shine it inside the machine and see if there's anything in there. It sounds like you've got something in there that the scan's picking up. So Vicky's, yeah, that's a good point, Vicky. So Vicky's saying you have to watch when you buy the rhinestones, as there are some with no glue on at all. Yeah, so you need to buy the ones that are called hot fix rhinestones, and the hot fix rhinestones have the glue on the back of them already. Okay, right, so I'm going to pull this away again and hope that we get everything. So I'm just going to pop this down on the desk, and I think they've all come out. Yeah, I think they've all, oh, there's just one there in the number 3, and it's come out on its own now. So while I've got this here, I'm just going to scrape all these off and scoop them in the bin. So Vicky, when you were saying before, can you make your own designs in Canvas? This is what I did with this one. So this was in Canvas Workspace for PC. I typed the Apple Lover 53. I changed the font to Grandma's Garden, and then over on the right hand side where you've got like the edit menu and your artboard and all that kind of thing, if you've got the Rhinestone kit activated, there's a rhinestone icon. It looks like a circle with circles around it, and whatever you've got selected on your screen, when you click that rhinestone design, you can then choose to make it into a rhinestone cutting file. So you can choose outline only, which is what this is, and then there are different fills that you can play about with. Now when I did this one, what I will say is the result that you get when you choose, this was outline, so the result when you choose outline and say OK, the result that you get will vary depending on the size that you make your design. So when I made this big on my screen, all the rhinestones went into the shape lovely, but I knew that this bag that I'm going to put it on was only a certain size, so I wanted to make my words a bit smaller. So when I shrunk the word down, then some of the rhinestones started to go a bit off. So basically what I had to do then was just choose each, and you know, if a rhinestone looked a bit out of place, I chose that rhinestone and then I just moved it. So I did have to just manipulate a couple, like the 3, there was a few bunched up together here, so I just chose the individual rhinestone and spaced it out. So we've answered Ellen. So Vicky's now saying you have to watch. Yeah, we've got that. Mandy G's saying I've done nothing but cook for 3 days. Tomorrow I'm having a craft day. I've got the rhinestone kit but never used it. It's coming out tomorrow for sure. Brilliant. So if you make anything, Mandy, send me a picture. So Alison D is saying, oh, this is exciting. So let me just bring my bin in and scoop these into the bin, because these little black bits get everywhere because they're gluey, obviously. So if I just wanted to save this now, I'd just put it back onto this transfer sheet, and the reason I've not stuck it on the back is because the back is, although it's a bit waxy, it's more papery, and it sticks quite fiercely if you stick it to the wrong side, because I've done that in the past. So stick it back onto the side that you ripped it off, and obviously you'll know what side that is because your little black bits will be left behind. So scoop them out of the way, and then, you know, you could even make these and sell the templates. You don't even have to make the, you know, the actual rhinestone pattern up. You know, if people want to, people make businesses out of rhinestones. You know, they sell templates, or they make the rhinestones up and they put them, like I've shown you, like on the backing, and then they sell them. So this is ready now. So I'm going to use this one now, and then I'm going to heat press them both onto this bag. But you know, if you were making designs in advance and you weren't going to use your stones on them, this is how you store them, because once you've got it, you can use it and use it and use it. So I'm going to take it back off there, bring it in that box, just so it corrals all the stones. I've got the whiteboard. I know you can't see white on white very good, but I've got the whiteboard in here. And this board is purely and simply to stick your sticky, you know, design on. Just rub it down so it sticks, because you don't want the stones going under the template and sticking underneath. And then bring in my stones. I can't wait to see what Mandy G does now, if she gets the kit out and if she makes something. I'm going to just dump these all on there and start swishing. I'm just going to move them over to the beginning, and you just want kind of circular motions basically, and then, you know, you can always go back and add in. But the more stones you put on, the easier this becomes, and it's something to do with the static, I think, isn't it, from the flock and this little brush. So when you think you've kind of got them, what I like to do is move all the loose ones out of the way. Let's see, I've just got one underneath there because I lifted the flock. So I just like to move them all out of the way. I like to try and keep them on the board, because then hopefully I can, I've got a stray rhinestone under there, I can just lift the board up and put them back into that blue tray and then dump them all back in the bag. It just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to try and get them all out of the way. And I've got one little black dot stuck to my finger again. And then I can see some stray ones here, so I'm just going to brush them, and if they don't fall into the holes where I want them to go, I'm not going to be too bothered, because I'm just going to pick up my little pick-up tool and move them out of the way. Got a couple of stray ones here. So now I'm just going to pick up some that are the right way up and fill in any of the little holes that I've missed. And I could dump them back over and keep going, but sometimes it's best, I think, to just kind of cut your losses and just, you know, put a few in by hand. But I try to get the ones that are the right way up, and then when I put them in, I kind of brush them into the hole, if that makes sense. Because if you put them in and then just lift this away, it'll just bring the rhinestone with you. So like that one's upside down, so I'm going to get one that's the right way up and then put it in the hole, and then I slide this out of the way. So we've just got a couple of stray ones, and then I'll have a look if there's any comments. So I think I've got them all filled in. Oh, look, you know, it wouldn't be a Sunday without me messing up, would it? So I've just drop my damn pick-up thing and knock them out of the holes. Get that out of the way. So I was doing fine, wasn't I? And then I mess up. Let's see. So I think, well, that one's upside down and that one's upside down. Can't have that. Let's get rid of these that are upside down. That's the only thing, sometimes you think you've got them all in the holes, but they're upside down. Now I've spotted a few that are upside down. So although they're in the holes, they're upside down. So that's no good. So I'm going to have to get rid of them. Pop them back in. I can see loads that are upside down now. Right, we're going to have to start again. Let's dump some more over the top. And we'll give them another brush and we'll try again. Let me just catch up with what you're saying. Because I've missed comments, I know I have. I might make something for my daughter's wedding, which should hopefully be in May, a year late. Oh no, I could put bride on the back of a dressing gown, definitely, yeah. Heat transfer vinyl or rhinestones would be good. Barbara Harty's saying that's a lovely idea. Karen Lazenby's saying, I got a little pack with my machine, Ashley. Is that what it's for? Think I will have to watch from the start. Do I need to have the activation card? Right, Karen, so the kit that you got with your machine, because you've got the same machine as me, there are 4 rhinestone designs in the ScanNCut Disney machine. So that little starter kit that you've got, you can only use with the 4 designs which are in the machine. And this is one of them. That's what I did first. To be able to do something like I'm doing here now with my name, you need the full kit because you need the activation card. Ashley's such an inspiration. I so look forward to these sessions. I think there's a stray above the first P. Okay, I'm going to just rejiggle them about because I can see that quite a few of them are upside down now. So I'm going to put some back on and just start again. Because I've not spotted them, because the angle I'm sat at, I'm trying to keep my head out of the camera. And obviously I don't always see everything. So let's brush these away again and see what we've got now and see if right, so I think these look as though they're all the right way up now. It's just that some of them are missing. So let's try again. So there's one there. One there. So the A looks complete. That P looks complete. That P does. The L, E, there's one missing from there. So, you know, if it doesn't look right, just dump them back on and start again. That one in there. That one in there. That one's gone upside down. So that looks okay. That looks okay. That looks okay. Right, does everybody think that, see if I can zoom you in. Does everybody think that looks okay? Because it does from the angle I'm looking at it. And they all look to be the right way up. They're all shiny, whereas some of the other ones before, when I looked a bit closer, were grey. That's how I knew they were upside down. So I'm thinking that they're okay. I'm just going to move those out of the way for now, but I'm kind of still keeping them on this whiteboard. Right, let's see what we're saying. Mandy's saying thanks, Barbara. Charlotte, I think there's a stray above the first P. Okay, I think I've got that now, yeah. Charlotte's saying you've got it. Right, I think we're okay. I don't want to tip it up too much because I don't want to lose all this lot that's down here on the board, but I think we've got everything. So let's zoom you back out so you can see what I'm doing. So this was the piece of transfer tape that I cut before, so I'm going to peel the clear bit away, which is sticky, and obviously this is what you heat set with as well. This is what you use to iron on. So I'm going to do the same thing because these can be a bit staticky. I'm going to bend it in the middle and kind of try and just make sure that I'm in the right place. And I'm going to stick the middle down and then just let it fall out over my words. And I'm just rubbing it gently. Okay, so it should pick up all those letters. Alison's saying stunning, looking good. Ellen's saying it's going to look amazing. Charlotte's saying looks good to me, not that I know what I'm looking at. Oh, bless you, Charlotte. Vicky's saying I am amazed that most of them land right way up. I wonder if the depth of the flock is important for that. I'm not sure. I think it's something to do with, I think a lot of it's luck, Vicky, But then it's this swirling action. You seem to have to do this swirling action. And I think it's something to do with this, but I don't know for sure. Right, so I should be able to peel this up now. And if I peel it up slowly, I should be able to see whether I'm leaving any rhinestones behind. And it's a bit like when you're weeding vinyl. If you see that there's any rhinestones left behind, just put it, put it back down. But I think I'm going to hold on to this bottom corner so that as I'm lifting, if I spot anything that has been left behind, I can just put it back in. But I seem to have got everything. So let's just bring this back in for a minute and put that on there. And again, if I didn't want to, heat this straight away, that's there for whenever I do. So I'm going to put that on one side. I'm going to bring back in this piece where I scraped all the black bits off before. And I'm going to peel this up and stick it back on there, and then that can go back with all my other designs. Then, like, where did I put my tray? I'm just going to switch the heat press on because I didn't switch it on. I plugged it in but I didn't switch it on, so I'm just going to switch that on while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to pick up this board and try and get these in this tray, because this little tray's got a little funnel on it, which should make getting these back into the bag a bit easier. I've got a few stray ones here on the side that should just stick to my finger. And then I'm just going to put those back in there, funnel them back in, and if you've not got anything, like I showed you before, the bag that I must have bought from wherever, had a little sign in it saying what size stones they were. I write on my bags with a Sharpie. Let's move that out of the way, you might see it better. So can you see I've used a red Sharpie and put SS10, and I do that on them all because you'll forget they're SS10s, they're SS10s, they're SS20s. So I just use a Sharpie and write on the bag so that when you do come to want to make your designs, you can look in your stash, see what size stones you've got, and then you know what you can use, for your design. So I think I've finished with that now. I've finished with the board. Just bring this back in. This is my little plastic bag that I keep all the things I've cut in the past. So that's the one I've just done tonight. That's the one I've just done. That's a flower that's on the bag, which I'll show you again in a minute. That one I think I did in the last live. This is a tree that I put on a t-shirt years ago, and that's the base of it. There's a high and a flower, so you can reuse these, a star, and then that's the ScanNCut one. So just keep your templates and keep them all together, keep them on your transfer sheet, and then they're good to go whenever you need to use them. So I'm just going to move all this out of the way. I'm going to bring in let's get rid of the scissors. And then I'm going to zoom you back out so hopefully you can see my desk. So this is the 12 by 12 cricket mat, okay, and it tells you this side down. So that's the side that goes on your surface. And it's got a little cricket logo on the bottom. I'm just going to bring in the heat press. Alison's saying drum roll. Love the tree. Okay, right, I just need to move this over a little bit. So what I'm going to do now, this is the bag, as I said the other night, that came with the Easy Press, and I've already put their heat transfer vinyl on it, and then today when I was just trying to see if this would work with the rhinestones, I've put that flower on, which I've just shown you the template of a minute ago. So I'm going to put these two designs I've cut tonight on the back. Okay, I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. I'll try and bring it in. It's actually quite a long lead on this. So I googled this morning what temperature for hot fix rhinestones, and it told me 335 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 seconds. So that's what I've set my Easy Press to. And you can have this in Fahrenheit or centigrade, and on Christmas Eve when I was doing it, I must have pressed the temperature gauge and switched it over to centigrade, and that's why I couldn't work out what temperature I was using. So it's beeped at me, so I know it's hot enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move the silicone tray that it comes with out of the way, and I'm just going to give the back of this bag a quick iron. They always tell you to iron your surface first. I think A, to make it nice and smooth, but also to get any moisture out of it. So what I'm thinking is, I've got my two designs. So I'm going to peel this off its transfer backing, and I think I'll put this down near the bottom. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this with it being like the clear rhinestones, but I'm going to put that kind of on the bottom there, and then I'll probably just use the Disney head above it. Now you can iron straight over this clear transfer sheet, but when I bought my heat transfer vinyl the other day, I got a silicone sheet in it, so I'm going to use that just to be on the safe side. So what I need to do now is use the heat press. Now it will actually cover probably the majority of this design. I'm just trying to see the threes there. It's just not going to get, I think, that one line of the A. So I'm going to do it in 2 sittings. So I'm just going to press the start, and it's going to count down from 30 seconds, and I'm just applying kind of a light pressure. So Mandy G's saying any special temperature for rhinestones. Well, Mandy, as I say, I googled this morning and it said 335 and it said for 30 seconds, and that's what I did on the other side on that flower to try it out. So this is counting down now, and it's going to beep when it gets to the end. Okay, and that's another reason why I'm using this silicone sheet, because I'm going to have to go over the other half. So I'm going to position it on there now and start again. Gypsy's saying yes, nice tree. I did that design years ago. I don't know where I got it from. It was something I think I don't know if it came with the puzzles kit or whether it's something I've turned into a rhinestone. I honestly can't remember. Ashley, Karen's saying, Ashley, is the Easy Press heavy? It's not dead heavy. This one isn't. I believe the big one is really heavy, and that's another reason I went for this 6x7, because I watched a lot of videos before I decided to buy one, and even with the big one, people use them, you know, on half a design and half a design, so I didn't see the point really. It's heavier than an iron, and it has to be weighty, because that's part of the thing for doing heat transfer vinyl and rhinestones. You need weight and you need heat. So yes, it's heavier than an iron, but you know, I'm lifting it with one hand, so it's manageable. But the bigger they go, the heavier they go. Can you buy replacement rhinestones? Yes, Mandy, just go on Amazon or eBay and type in hot fix rhinestones, and there's loads of sellers that sell them, and they sell them in all different sizes. So you can get, you know, bags of like SS10s or SS6 or SS16s or SS20. They come in all different sizes. If you've got the Rhinestone activation kit and you go into Canvas and you click on the rhinestones, there's a drop down list and it shows you all the different sizes of the rhinestones that you can use within Canvas projects, and there's loads. So I'm going to lift that off now and I'm going to peel away this transfer tape, and it's left my design behind. Okay, so this is still sticky despite the fact, look, stuck to my finger, despite the fact it's been used and it's been heat set. So that's what I was saying before about you can use it. So put it back on your transfer sheet and then, you know, let it cool and then store it back in your box or whatever. So that's that. So now I'm going to put this on as well, just for the sake of it, because, you know, I've cut it, so we might as well do it. So let's put this on top here, like so. And then I'm going to put this back on to protect the rhinestones that are underneath, and then just heat set this. So again, I'm just going to put it on top and start. It's at the right temperature and it's got 30 seconds. Think I would struggle has got no muscle power. Okay, you might be surprised, Karen, because I mean, I'm not really applying any pressure, I'm just resting my hands on it. The weight does the work for you. So this is counting down. And it's going to beep when it's done. And because this was smaller than the plate, I don't need to do it, you know, another time. It's covered the whole design. So, oh, I did the wrong thing, didn't I? I peeled the plastic away. Not to worry, it's worked anyway. So let me zoom in and see if you can see this a bit better. I'm going to move it. So can you see that all nice and sparkly? I think what I've done, oh no, there it is, it's come away. I think this piece of plastic, I think I've had upside down, because it's kind of melted this one, so this one's no good, this one's going to have to get thrown away. But you know, my Teflon sheet is still in one piece, unless, oh, I know what I've done, I've used the wrong side of my Teflon sheet. One side's papery and one side's waxy, and I think I usually put the waxy side, probably put it down the wrong way, but anyway, not to worry, it's fine. So can you see that? So these are the kind of yellow rhinestones that are used, and these are the clear sparkly ones. So what I would do now, I would flip this over and just put this over where the design is and just give it another quick iron, not setting the temperature, just a quick iron, so that you kind of get the glue from both sides. So that's the design I cut on Christmas Eve, as I say, in the heat transfer vinyl. That's the flower that I cut ages ago and I've just ironed on there today as a test. And this is what you've just seen me do now. And that's just all with the rhinestone kit. And these should be washable now for a good amount of washes. And obviously if you're putting them on clothing or t-shirts, what I would do is turn them inside out and wash them, or turn them inside out and put them in one of those, you know, those washing bags, just so they don't get knocked against your other clothing and things when you're washing them. But hot fix rhinestones should be washable. So we've got that's beautiful, beautiful, very nice. We've got a wow. This session has got my brain jiggling. Personalising prezzies, thank you Ashley, you're a star. Barbara, if you've got this is what I love about the ScanNCut. Once you've got a ScanNCut, you can personalise anything, you know, from as simple as a card or a scrapbook page, you know, scrapbook layout. But when you then start introducing vinyl, you know, like the vinyl that you can use that's, you know, like outdoor vinyl, the 651 Oracle, for instance, that you can put on cups and glasses. I wouldn't necessarily put them through a dishwasher, but the washable, it's outdoor vinyl, or the craft plaque I showed you a few weeks ago that I made, or heat transfer vinyl. You know, this was free with the Cricut, but as I showed on Christmas Eve, I don't know if you all saw that, I got a box, a starter kit with heat transfer vinyl, so I'm going to be using that. I'm just going to turn the easy press off for a minute. I got a box of heat transfer vinyl, so I'm going to be doing some projects with that. But you can personalise anything. If you can sew, I mean, this is literally a calico bag. This is calico. You could make some plain calico shopping totes. Let me zoom you back out a bit. You know, just get a few meters of calico, make some very plain, simple calico totes. You know, they're only 2 pieces of fabric sewn across the, you know, the sides or the bottom, had some handles on, and then decorate them and personalise them. They would be reasonable priced gifts to make, but you're blinging them up with heat transfer vinyl or rhinestones. Vicky's saying that sounds like a parchment, not like it's... No, it's not a Teflon sheet. Sorry, I think they call it... Hang on, I'll bring the box in. What do they call it? They don't call it that, do they? They call it a silicone sheet. Sorry. You're right, Vicky. It's not a Teflon sheet. That might be something that I actually do purchase if I start using this more. But yeah, this is it's just silicone paper, really. I suppose baking parchment or something like that would do, probably equally as good. In fact, I think I've used baking parchment in the past. I think it's in one of my drawers, you know, going back quite a few, you know, a few years when I probably first started using rhinestones. So yeah, they call this silicone, but I know what you mean. There is a proper Teflon mat, isn't there? Right, let's see what everyone else is saying. Charlotte's saying, every time you show us this kit, I keep getting closer to buying it, just for fun of doing it. Suzanne is saying, sorry, totally missed this and only just joined. Is it possible to use a regular iron? You can use a regular iron, but you need a good firm surface, and you won't get as good or permanent results, but you can do it. I have used an iron in the past and it does work, but I don't know how. If it was going onto something that you're washing, Suzanne Dawn, then I don't know how long it would, you know, I don't know how many washes it would last for. Like I said before, the whole thing with a heat press or the easy press is that you get the pressure and the heat. I don't think an iron, I think this easy press goes up to something like 400 or 405 degrees. I don't think an iron gets that hot. So that heat coupled with the weight is what kind of fuses it into your fabric. Charlotte's saying, do you have to worry about the hot glue bleeding to the other side of the fabric? No, I don't think you do. You could put something inside if you want, if it does stick. I mean, like this one has stuck a little bit in places, but you can just pull it apart or put something inside your bag. It will come apart. It won't affect the rhinestones. I've just pulled that apart and the rhinestones are all still there. But yeah, you can put, you could, I suppose if you've got like a Teflon mat, you could put like this silicone paper inside and then either use another piece of silicone paper on top or use your Teflon mat. So If it does stick, just pull it apart. But like you say, to be on the safe side, you could always put something inside, because it does kind of, if you look, it does. I'm not sure how well you'll see this. Let me see if I can zoom in. Can you see it kind of does forces it into the fabric, and that's because of the weight and the heat, and that's what you want. That's what's going to give you the longevity for when you wash it. So let's zoom you back out. And then let me see, because I've missed loads of comments. Amanda G saying it looks great. Ellen is saying, Ashley, was there any discoloration left by the heat press? No, none at all. I do know that sometimes if you're using, is it red and maybe like a dark purple, you might get discoloration, but I believe as it cools, the colour comes back. And I've also read I've read it somewhere on the internet, I can't remember where, that if it doesn't come back when it's cooled, if you wash it, that tends to rectify it. But I think the discoloration happens more with red for some reason. Great tutorial, thanks. Alison's saying, talking of vinyl, could you do a session showing 2/3 colours with no overlapping? Yeah, definitely can do that. It's basically like I've done this tonight, but in vinyl. Is that what you mean? So no overlapping of designs. Suzanne is saying you can, but you might need to press more than once, as the steam holes will result in an uneven heating. Yeah, and you don't get, with an iron, you don't get a total even heat, do you? Whereas with something like this whole plate gets hot. I'm not going to touch it because it's still very, very hot. Whereas with an iron, the heat disbursement isn't as good, I believe. So I'll just put that back in its tray. Barbara's saying, to be honest, once you've got the ScanNCut, it's almost sacrilege not to use it to its utmost. Definitely, and that's why I kind of, show all sorts of different things, because I wouldn't necessarily, do a lot of the stuff I show you constantly, but I'm showing you that you can do it. That's the whole point. And yes, it makes another use of my sewing machine. This will influence my New Year's resolutions. Well, that's another thing. If you make something, you can then use something like heat transfer vinyl or rhinestones to decorate. Like I've just done, let me show you these. Hang on. These coasters are in the hoop coasters that I've made, but this is a video that's going to be on my channel sometime in the next few weeks. Can't remember when. It's been uploaded and scheduled, but this design came with 3 embroidery designs, but one of them is completely plain, so you could make the coasters in the hoop, and then in the section here you could use your rhinestones or your heat transfer vinyl and decorate those, and that's another gift idea. Alice is saying, now I must decide, vinyl kit or rhinestone kit, any preference? I'll show you my heat transfer vinyl kit, Alice, in a minute. Thank you, Vicky. Susan Dawn saying, and thank you, Apple Lover. Creative Concepts is saying, Alice, more you can do with vinyl kit than rhinestone. Yeah, I think I kind of agree there, Lynn. Good to know about how sturdy this is. Barbara's saying, you're very kind to us all, Ashley. Your time, your experience are our benefit. Bless you. Oh, you're welcome. I just try things out. Great, Ashley. I'm inspired. Good, Ellen. Merry Christmas, Ashley, and everyone. Sorry, just joined. Got the vinyl kit and the vinyl and HTV. Oh, brilliant. And HTV for Christmas. Just got the code in today, so ready to play. Ellen's saying inspired. Ashley, what's your vinyl kit you have on your desk? I'm going to show you now. Joyce is saying, when doing the rhinestones, just slip a piece of white cardstock inside the bag or shirt. Okay, that's a good idea. Thanks, Joyce. Okay, so yes, so the glue doesn't kind of stick to the other side like it's just done here. Yeah, good idea. So a piece of card, yeah, inside your bag or your shirt. Brilliant. Right, so let's move this all off to one side. That heat press is still so hot. So Alison D saying vinyl, say like a unicorn for example, and the horns sit on the head. So need horn to be flat, no overlapping. Don't know. Yes, I do understand, Alison. Yes, I do, and I'll see if I can come up with something and show you. So basically, this vinyl kit, as I said when I came on Christmas Eve showing you my little haul, I went to Hobbycraft to get the Easy Press and they didn't have it. So I came home thinking, right, I'll leave it till the new year, but I'll go online and I'll see what heat transfer vinyl I can find. And while I was Googling, I came across this site and it's called gmcrafts.co.uk. I'll try and type it, oh here we go, still on screen from the other night. So there it is for anybody that wants to go and have a look. I've got no affiliation with this site whatsoever, never used them before. I literally found them in a Google search. And basically, I went on looking for heat transfer vinyl, but while I was there, they had the Easy Press and the mat. So I bought everything from the one site, okay? And you can buy, from memory, you can buy, I'll remove that now. Okay, I think you can buy, they sell all kinds of vinyl and they sell all kinds of heat transfer vinyl. They sell glitter, they sell stretch, they sell flock, they sell mesh, anything you can think of, this website seems to sell. They sell it in rolls, they sell it in sheets, but they also do these starter kits. So because I wanted to try some heat transfer vinyl, I bought their HTV glitter starter kit iron-on, okay? And it comes in this box, so nice kind of A4 sturdy box. This whole thing, kit, and I know I said it the other night and I can't remember now, I think it was £26 or £27. But when you think in Hobbycraft, 3 sheets of 12 by 12 glitter heat transfer vinyl, which Cricket call iron-on, so for 3 sheets of 12 by 12 it's £17. Okay, now I know these are smaller than 12 by 12, but there's quite a bit more in here, and this whole thing was 26. So I'll show you what's in it in a minute, but I'll tell you what's in it. So you get a glitter white rainbow, a glitter rose gold, a glitter blue, a glitter gold, a glitter green, a glitter pink, a purple, a multicolour, a red, a silver, all heat transfer vinyl. You get the A4 silicone sheet, which is just basically like this piece of parchment, and you get the weeding tool and obviously the box. I've just seen a comment from Mikkel saying, have you tried the stamp kit? I would love to see a tutorial on it. I've not got it yet, but it is one of the things that I will be hoping to try going forward into the new year. So that's the design. If you were with me the other night, it seems to have gone dark in here all of a sudden. Is it still got all my lights on? Don't know what's going on. Should I put that, let's put that lamp back on and see if that's any better. Oh no, that's reflecting off there now, isn't it? That's no good. Turn that off for a minute. Right, so that says Que Sera Sera, and that, will you see it better on there? That's one of the activation designs from Canvas. So that was cut in the green glitter vinyl as a test the other night when I unboxed the Easy Press, and I just stuck it onto some scrap fabric. So this is what you get. So that's the piece of green that I cut that from. I might leave this white thing here because I think it might be easier to see. So this is the size of the sheets. Okay, so I'll tell you how big they are. So they're about 8 1/4 just under 10. Okay, so they're a decent size. Obviously, like I say, the cricket ones are 12 by 12, but you only get 3 in a pack, and they tend to be 3 same colours, so you might get like 3 shades of blue or 2 shades of pink and a purple, whereas this way I got 1 of all these colours, so I just thought it was a bit more value for money. So obviously green, this is what they call the multicolour. I'm going to see if I can zoom you in. I don't know if you're going to see these any better or not, because obviously it's all glittery, so it's not going to be that easy to see. So that's the multicolour. There was red. You can see how sparkly they are though, can't you? Gold, look at the sparkle. Silver, I love this blue. Blue, white, pink, looks a bit, it doesn't do it justice. Can you see that? It's a lovely shade of pink. This is the rose gold. Purple, and you get the weeding tool, the double-ended weeding tool. And then also inside here, there's a cricket cutting guide, and on the back of it a silhouette, so for anybody that's got another cutting machine, and it just kind of tells you, you know, default pressure and that kind of thing. But then you've also got this, the pressing guide. On the back of it, it's got like application guide for if you're using like one of those proper big heat presses. But the times on here work with the easy press as well. So like for instance, it lists all different types of heat transfer vinyl, and this is glitter. It says temperature 160 for 50 seconds, medium pressure, and it tells you it's a warm peel. So that means once you've heated it and your bleep's gone off on your easy press and you remove it, just let it cool down for a few seconds. You don't have to wait for it to go cold and then you can peel it. But like some of the others down here, like heat active and bubble up, are cool peels. So you'd have to wait for those to completely cool down before you peel away the, you know, transfer sheet. So that was the kit I got. And as I say, I only went looking for the heat transfer vinyl because I was going to wait for Hobbycraft to get the easy press back in, but they ended up having everything on this one site, so I bought everything. I bought this kit, the, as I say, the ironing mat and the actual easy press itself. Heard today that postal service has been suspended from the UK to Spain because of COVID. Oh God, has it? I know they weren't letting the truck drivers and things cross the borders, were they, without having a test, but I didn't know about the postal service. That's a pain, isn't it? Charlotte's saying yay on the stamp kit. Yeah, as I say, I've not got it yet. Becky is saying hello from Miami. Well, hello Becky, hi. So that was today's experiment, and I think it's turned out okay. And as I say, this is just the bag that the easy press, you know, can be kept in, and I'm just keeping mine in it. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions or any more suggestions or anything, but I will try and do the 2-colour heat transfer vinyl, because obviously I've got the heat transfer vinyl now, so that can be, you know, something for the future. Let me just put this back in here to keep it all together. But yeah, once you've got a ScanNCut, the world is your oyster, so to speak. And you know, if you then add in heat transfer vinyl or rhinestone, you can make all sorts. And just going back to the question earlier, which one, I think, like somebody else said, I think you've got more options with heat transfer vinyl. Rhinestones, depending on what you're trying to make, you know, can be a bit hit and miss. You know, some of the designs don't always look great when you convert them to a rhinestone pattern. But generally anything cuts and looks good in heat transfer vinyl. If if it would work as a regular cutting file, it would work in heat transfer vinyl, but not all files translate well into rhinestone designs, if that makes sense. Some you have to fiddle about with, like this one. When I made it a bit smaller, I had to position a couple of the stones, excuse me, here and there, but some just don't look right depending on the size of them. Sometimes if you're making something big, they look great in rhinestones, but when you start shrinking them down, they kind of lose a bit of the shape that you're trying to achieve. So I think heat transfer vinyl is probably going to be more useful for personalising. And don't forget, you can use heat transfer vinyl, like we said before, not just on fabric. You can put it on towels, on clothing, on glass, on wood. I've even seen people personalise, like the planners, the leather, or like faux leather, or whatever when you buy a planner, that kind of plasticky, don't know what it is really, but I've seen personalise those with heat transfer vinyl. As long as you put something like a Teflon sheet or like this silicone sheet to fully cover, you should be able to protect what's underneath. Ellen's saying, that's a good buy, Ashley. I got my vinyl from Hobbycraft. It costs a fortune for all the different colours. I know, that's what I mean. I did look at someone who was in there the other day. When they didn't have the heat press, I went over and had a look. And the pack I was looking at was £17 for 3 sheets. And I wasn't madly impressed with the colours. I think they were purples from memory. Or they were either purple or blue, and they were just 3 shades of the same colour. So I thought, I kind of walked away, and when I came out of the store, I thought, oh, I should have bought it. And then I thought, oh, I'm not going back in, because I had to queue to go in the first place. So I left it, and that's when I came home and I started looking on the internet, looking for the vinyl. Came across this website, and they had the easy press and everything, so I just bought it all. And they're in the UK, and it came within, I think I got it within, I ordered it late one night. I can't remember what, it might have been Sunday night I ordered it, actually, after the live. And I think it arrived on Wednesday. So Mikkel is saying, thanks for being our mad scientist. That's funny. I think what I might do though, somebody asked about would felt work, didn't they, for the template. I've got some felt. I'll try and see, and I'll let you know if that works or not. But the flock is, I know the brother flock might be expensive to buy, this black stuff, but if you buy like heat transfer vinyl flock, I'm sure that would work as well, and that would be cheaper. Let's see what else we're saying. Mandy G saying, great session, Ashley, love these crafty get-togethers, love heat transfer vinyl projects. Alison's saying, well, that was nice to watch. Jim says, hi Jim, hope you're okay. See you all next year, happy new year. Yeah, same to you. Alice is saying, what vinyl is used for putting on glasses or cups? It needs to be outdoor vinyl, Alice. So any outdoor vinyl. If it's Oracle, I think it's 651 it's known as, but there's Caesar is a vinyl, Cricket do vinyl, but again, just make sure it's like the outdoor vinyl, because you need something, if you're going to put it on glasses and cups, you need something that's washable. So your regular like home decor vinyl that you would just put on something indoors can't be washed. They look the same, but they're not. One you can get wet and one you can't. A lot of my vinyl I got from a local sign writer. I just went and asked him could I buy any of his offcuts, and because he's a sign writer, I know a lot of mine is all outdoor, because obviously it goes on signs outside. Right, well, let me see what else we're saying. So Lynn is saying, is there any guide of what works and doesn't work for rhinestones? No, I'm not really sure, Lynn. If they hot fix rhinestones, they should work basically on fabric, as far as I'm aware. I'm guessing maybe there's loads of sellers on eBay and Etsy and Amazon that sell rhinestones. So if you type in hot fix rhinestones, then just have a look in their description and see what they say it can be used for. But as far as I'm aware, hot fix rhinestones can go on, you know, clothing or fabric. Vicky's saying, please give Ashley a thumbs up if you haven't already. Well, thank you, Vicky. Mikkel's saying, same to you, Alison, Happy New Year. Ellen is saying, and it comes in a box, lays flat as Hobbycraft comes on a roll and it's difficult to roll. Yeah, I know what you mean, and that's another reason I got this, because it just comes in this box and I've just kept the whole thing. One of my drawers in my desk, I keep all my vinyl in, and this just has been sat kind of on top of it in the drawer, and it fits in there nicely. Alice is saying, thanks for thumbs up reminder, Vicky. Joyce is saying, well done as usual, love your videos, Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Vicky's saying, Alice, you need decor vinyl for 3D projects. Okay, so you call it decor vinyl. Okay, I know the Oracle is 651, I'm sure it is. Let me have a look at mine. I don't think mine's got any. Let's have a look and see what this says. Okay, so this one is, this one's called Hexis, but this again was one that I bought from my, you know, my local sign writer. But I've still got vinyl that I bought years ago when I had a Puzzles, but that's all indoor vinyl as far as I'm aware. Let me just find a roll. Don't think this is going to say anything on the inside. I think Cricket have what they call, is it everyday vinyl? I think that's for maybe things indoor. Okay, so this is, right, so this is Puzzles, I've had years. This is 631. So this is the kind of vinyl that I wouldn't wash. So this would go on maybe like my glass craft sign I made a couple of weeks ago that I showed you all. Something that's not going to get wet. Frames, picture frames, that kind of thing. If you're going to put it on cups or glasses, then you want something that you can wash, which, as I say, I normally know as 651 or outdoor vinyl. Alison saying Happy New Year, Ashley and all my crafty friends. Yes, same to you. 2021 will get better. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Monica saying great session. Would love to give vinyl and rhinestone a chance. I've binge watched loads of your vinyl videos today as I didn't have a clue what to do with it. Still not much further forward yet, but better idea now, maybe tomorrow. Okay, one thing I would say, Lynn, is if you're using heat transfer vinyl and you're using anything with words, you've got to mirror it. Because with heat transfer vinyl, like this, you basically, let me get this out. Heat transfer vinyl has a shiny side and the underside is a dull colour of what you see on the top. Okay, that's how you know it's heat transfer vinyl. And heat transfer vinyl, you cut shiny side down. Okay, so if I typed Ashley and put that upside down, then Ashley's backwards. So you've got to flip it so that when you flip it back over and peel it, it's right. So anything with words or anything that has a direction with heat transfer vinyl, you've got to flip before you cut it, okay? With regular vinyl, let me just grab a piece from here. So this is like regular vinyl, and regular vinyl has a colour on the top and generally has a white paper on the back, so you can't see the colour of what's on that side. So this one goes this way up on your mat and you just cut into it. So if I wanted to cut Ashley from this, I would just type Ashley in the normal way and cut it, okay? But with heat transfer vinyl, because you're cutting upside down, you've got to flip your word, so it has to read backwards, so that when you flip it over and weed it and iron it, it's the right way around. Hope that makes sense. I have Oracle 651 and it's supposed to be waterproof. As far as I'm aware, Ellen, 651 is meant to be waterproof. 631 isn't. Joyce is saying Cricut has a strong bond vinyl. Okay, that's interesting. But Cricut call their things different things, don't they? Like they call their heat transfer vinyl iron-on, whereas the majority of the market that sell vinyl call it heat transfer vinyl. So, you know, that kind of makes sense if Cricut use a different terminology. Happy New Year, Ashley and everyone. Alice is saying, Alison D is saying, mirroring, you need to do it wrong once, funny, and you'll learn it very quickly from someone who's been there. Yeah, I know I've done the same when I first started. I used to forget. Terry P is saying, happy, healthy and creative new year to you all. Yeah, same to you, Terry. Okay, any last minute questions, anybody, about anything? So heat transfer vinyl, shiny side down, mirror, regular vinyl, whether it's waterproof or not, colour side up, and you don't need to mirror. That's basically all you need to remember. Can't see any last minute questions or anything. Trying to get that back into my drawer and it won't go in, so I'll leave it for now. So there we are. Okay, so yeah, happy new year to everybody. What date are we on now? Sunday. I'll see if I can find anything for the 2-colour heat transfer vinyl for next week. If not, if anyone's got any other suggestions, we'll maybe, you know, try something else. But I can't see anything popping up, so if anybody's got any last minute things to say or ask, then if you just do that quickly. Just going to have a quick drink of my drink. Alison's saying, not funny at the time, but hilarious a few hours later. Yeah, when you've realised you've cut it back to front. Here's to a happy and healthy and prosperous 2021 for us all. Yeah, here to that one. Alison's saying, excellent as usual, Ashley. Thank you for your time. Night to you and crafters. Yeah, same. Charlotte's saying, I know this is not very ScanNCut related, but could we discuss scrap storage and use sometime? Yeah. What kind of scrap, Charlotte? Are you talking fabric or paper? Sandra's saying, does the press hold its heat for a long while? Yes, it does. Funnily enough, hang on, let me just bring this in. This is still quite hot. This base that it's in is bearable, but I can feel the heat. I don't want to touch that because I know that's going to be hot. So yes, I would say it does. This has been turned off now for quite some time, but it's still hot. So I'm just going to leave it to completely cool and then put it back in this bag. Ellen's saying, thank you and happy new year, stay safe. Yes, same to you. Is there a limit to small size of heat transfer vinyl or vinyl? Obviously, well, I mean, in the past, in fact, there's probably a video somewhere, I've cut a vinyl that was tiny enough to go on my fingernail. And I think now with that new vinyl blade that we've got for the ScanNCut, the blue top one, that's a lot finer and smaller. So, oh, excuse me, I would think you can cut fairly small. Charlotte's saying paper and vinyl, but paper mostly. Well, I can show you quickly how I store mine. If I can find them, just give me 1 minute. Charlotte, this is how I store mine. So these are called something like job card holders. They're off eBay. Just Google. And they're just plastic and they fit A4. Now, there's a limit to how many pieces of card or whatever you can get in them. But what I do, I store my A4 card by colour. This is all my Stampin' Up card. But I also put my scraps in as well. So that's how I store them. If I've got more than will fit in one of these holders, I put the rest in another holder without a name on it and just put it underneath. Because I have these all slot into a unit behind me. And then for 12 by 12, these are also from eBay. And these are LP sleeves. So you know the old LP records? They're actually bigger than 12 by 12. But that's what these are. And I bought those off eBay. And I store my 12 by 12 cardstock or paper in these. And if it's Stampin' Up, I cut the label off the plastic packaging and then I just slide it in the back, because all Stampin' Up card and paper comes with like a piece of white card like this, you can see here. So I put that piece of card in the back, I put the label in, and then I put the in this case this is like glitter cardstock, but if it was designer series paper it'd have a pack of paper, and I keep the full sheets and the scraps all together. Okay, Charlotte, so I don't think there's any more questions, so I'm going to say goodbye to everybody and I'll see you all next